Ronnie sir, I have a few questions, if you don't mind, and if the media doesn't mind, I would like to ask you. First being that you don't come from a business family. Did you always dream of being an entrepreneur? Is it something one is born with? Is it the opportunities that came your way? What's the journey been so far?
You know, I grew up for the first 17 years in Grant Road, and I think the first chapter in my book is from Grant Road to Breach Candy. And I think those were the formative years of my life. It also teaches you some sort of very strong values. But I think one of my first failures, first real failures, was I was in cathedral school. I sort of graduated with flying colors, and I was overconfident. I went into college, and in the second year I failed. And at that stage, it could have been a disaster, because here I was, I thought I let my family down. And those 6 months to 1 year, when all your friends move on in life, and you have failed, and you're regrouping and trying to do what you're supposed to have done all your life, because everyone told you were a brilliant student, gave me the time to introspect of what I wanted to do in life. And I think that was, I would say, the first time when I felt entrepreneurship and doing something on my own was what I wanted to do. And those were not early, but those are not easy days. Nobody was funding anybody. There wasn't an entrepreneurial ecosystem. So I think it was a tough time at that stage. It was also a time when my dad was absolutely determined that I should do my chartered accountancy. So that's how it started. But I think it was around that time when one decided I want to do something my own. And other than the 2 years where I kind of handed over and did the Walt Disney Company and UTV combined, I think that's what I've been doing for the last 25 years.
You have done some of the most unthinkable things in the past, from pioneering cable TV in India to building the largest media and entertainment company. How did you do it, and what was your drive?
Well, that would take a whole book, right? At the end of the day, if you want to answer those kind of questions. But, you know, I think at the core of a couple of things that I believe, one of my favorite phrases is from Patton, General Patton, who says, all glory is fleeting. And I think that is something that I've sort of resonated with me from the early days when I saw the movie Patton. And it sort of struck with me that it's actually true. And I can't tell you that in the media industry, it's even more truer than in most, because you're as good as your last big hit, you're as good as your last success, and then you could be history tomorrow. So all glory is fleeting. If you stay with that moment, you kind of stay curious all the time. And I think the second one is really the ability for you to just stay at it and stay at it and stay the course. And I know a lot of people think, oh, but you came in there and then you exited this and then you sold this to somebody. But I'm saying I don't think there have been that many people who stayed in an overall media and entertainment business for 25 years and still survived. So I think that is the base of mine. And I think the only reason one did is that I took every failure as a comma and not a full stop. And I think that's been some of my learnings.
Ronnie sir, I also must add my experience with you. I remember that we've done a bunch of movies. You know, Rajniti, Wake Up Sid, Barfi. So I've been interacting with you from the beginning of my career. And I think one really admired trait of yours, which you know, I can never forget, is that people with experience, they don't really impart their knowledge. They don't really share with you. They don't really advise. And I think the kind of advice that you've given me from the beginning of my career to now has really been very valuable to me. And thank you so much for that. And I'm sure that you know, all of us, when we read the book, when we see this book, I think we can get inspired by a brilliant journey that you've had so far in the film industry and the television and the media industry.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
We would now like to open the floor for questions.
I think about 9 months from the time I sort of decided that...
So basically like making a baby.
Yeah. All on my own kind of thing, but yeah. 9 months would be.
How did you go about it? You had to meet people?
Well, I think I have to say that I felt I needed a co-writer. I'm not an author by nature. I don't think I'm going to be an author in life. So I got a co-writer. And I got someone actually from the US, because I think part of my media experiences teaches me that they give you a phenomenal structure to everything that you want to think and do. And I think he set me up well to give me a structure for the book and a sort of ease and flow of language. And then it was more up and down. We'd spend Friday evenings, Saturday evenings on the phone, long distance. I got him to come in here and share 4 or 5 days with me, everything that I had to sort of cathartically talk about, and then go back and meet almost 50 to 100 entrepreneurs here. And then it was pretty much every Saturday and Sunday for a fair period of time.
Yeah, good afternoon to